Welcome, I'm Price, CEO of You, and as always, I'm excited you're joining me today. Let me just say what a topic I've got to unpack. So today we're straight into a super relevant issue for, honestly, pretty anyone touching enterprise these days: database security and recovery. The paper we'll be digging into by Bellisan, titled A Comprehensive Analysis Security, Resilience, Theoretical Recovery Paradigms, and Integrity Safeguards in Oracle Database Environments. Wow, now that's a mouthful, right? Just before we jump in, to remind you, as always, I'm here to present the findings of this paper neutrally, not to endorse or critique it. Academic research, it's meant to offer new ideas, challenge the status quo, but just, it's not gospel as rolling first off. The core question Bellisan tackles: why is keeping data secure, available and intact in Oracle database environments such a huge and growing concern? The answer's honestly urgent as businesses pile more and more critical into losing it, having it tampered with can mean disaster, like real disaster, as the lights are going off at headquarters and your boss is calling in the middle of the night. Disaster. Not to sound alarmist, just, it's that serious. But why Oracle Oracle databases are like the beating hearts of countless organizations, from hospitals to banks and everything in between. This paper on the idea a single silver bullet doesn't exist. Instead, a mesh of safeguards, recovery tools, and access controls all working together, which makes sense, right? Security isn't one and done. Cyber threats evolve, hardware breaks, human error ops in. The paper argues that true resilience in 2023 and beyond comes from overlapping layers of not just tools, but good habits and smart policies. The methods and frameworks Bellisan explores are pretty fascinating, actually. The analysis covers the big that Oracle uses. So things like virtual private database, which super lets you lock down data access the database itself, not just through external app magic. Imagine you're a doctor, right? VPD could it, so you only ever see your patient's data. If you tried some sneaky SQL from the command line, comforting. Then there's transparent data encryption, or TDE in the Oracle lingo, which scrambles your on-disk. Even if, say, a thief walks off with your backup drives, they're out of luck. It just gibber too. But this only works. The keys are stored somewhere really safe. So, there's still a human factor fine-grained auditing. Ever heard of tokens? This paper loves them, are like digital booby. You set up rows in your data that never be touched, and if someone pokes them, alarms go off. It's a bit like hiding fake dollar bill in your drawer, seeing who bites, kind of sneaky, but effective. Of course, privilege management comes up, because honestly, insiders with 2 access are a bigger risk than people think. Limiting those keys to the kingdom and tracking who do what, that's huge, according to Bellisan. And as for actual disaster recovery, the paper spends a lot of time comparing recovery paradigms, like write-ahead logging and shadow paging. Basically, these are all about how to your data back the brink after a big oopsie, whether a hacker deletes a file or you just drop your laptop in a puddle. A big insight for listeners: you probably can't afford to roll the dice with just simple backups anymore, or hope your password is good enough. Whether you run IT or just handle sensitive data, thinking in layers with encryption, backups, real monitoring, tested recovery plans, all that actually applies to you, not just some techie in a basement. Oh, and quick side note every time I hear shadow paging. For some reason, I think of old game memory cards. No idea why. It's just like the idea of saving copies of things so you can go back if you mess up. Total digression, sorry, but funny how our work. Okay, so what does Bellisan recommend big picture? Build a strategy in 3 tiers. First, use proactive security like access, and second, make sure you've got robust backup and failover. Have a copy ready to swap in fast. Third, prepare for the biggest wildcard, which is human error. So things like backtech that lets you roll back changes in. It's really about owning every possible of failure and not trusting it'll never happen to us, which, let's face it, is tempting but risky. The implications here aren't for database admins, CTOs, if you're a student, a business owner, or just worried about your own files. Bellisan's research nudges us to think, what's my weakest link? And I relying on luck or a layered, tested defense? Remember, academic research isn't the answer. It's a set of tools and you shape for your own context. So, that a whirlwind tour. Again, I'm not endorsing or critiquing Bellisan's conclusions, just presenting them for you to consider. I view today's episode with a sense of just how complex, yet approachable this field really is. Security isn't a locked fortress, it's a living, breathing practice. Thanks for listening to In Depth with Academia. Keep out new research, stay curious. Remember, knowledge is a journey, a finish line. Until next time.